Remmers-Davis. I already did say that part. Hi, I'm Marjorie Remmers-Davis, founder and CEO of Acadian Accounting Education, and welcome to this week's live stream, which we hold every Friday at 11 a.m. inside our free Facebook group, the QBO Gym Locker Room. The locker room is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That's all we do all day, every day. That's why it's so important that we get that chart of accounts working, because we have to practice using QuickBooks Online. As a member of the locker room, you get a free, sorry, I'm distracted by this thing. You get a free QBO QuickStart course. Okay, so if you're brand new, who are some of the names I mentioned? Mark, I get lost in the chat. Several of you that said you were new. Okay, so if you're brand new, we emailed you a free course called QBO QuickStart. So make sure that you have access to that. If you cannot find it, if you can't find the email from us, email support@acadian.com, AKADIAN, and we will look into your account. We'll see. Same reason why you might not have gotten the newsletter. Maybe you typed the email address wrong. Maybe your email's bouncing. Maybe you subscribed from us 5 years ago and now we can't send you new stuff. Okay, so check for that QBO QuickStart course. Also, in the locker room, we have over 100 free hands-on exercises. Remember, I said that's all we do all day, every day, is hands-on exercises for actually getting practice using QuickBooks Online. We use the sample company, and the sample company needs to work in order for us to do our practice. All right, so everyone always asks where to find the free exercises. And if you scroll down to, you'll find the featured section. So there's a tab here. If you're on your phone, sometimes there's like a little hamburger up in the upper left-hand corner. If you click that, maybe you have to get to featured, or there's a tile right here, several tiles. This one right here that says over 100 free hands-on exercises. Guess what? That's where the free hands-on exercises are. So, yes, you're gonna open that up, and you have it's way more than 100. I think it's close. We need to count, guys. We need to count at some point. It's like close to 200 now, I think. At least over 150 for sure, where you can do hands-on exercises. By the way, while I am here, excuse me. While I'm here, also, if you didn't notice, we have every Monday, or actually Sunday night, Lindsay posts. Lindsay is our student success manager, and she posts This Week at Acadian. I go live on Monday mornings to tell you like what's happening and what courses you can take and what you can hop onto that's live, like this call. And you can also, in this link is if you're confused about remember, I am allergic to confusion. I'm going to use that from now on. I don't want anybody to be confused ever. That is like my mission in life. And we're over 100 people. No, that's 99 in the chat. Sorry, I forgot. What happened to my thing so I can keep? Lindsay, can you keep track of how many people we have on? I don't know, can you see that? If you look in the participants list and let me know if it's getting close to 100 and we need to kick. Oh no, there it showed up. Oh, I get so confused. All right, we're at 89, so we're okay. All right. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, you guys can keep track of it right now because I can't always see it. Anyway, so in This Week at Acadian, there's also a link if you want to schedule a time with one of our team. If you're confused, you don't know what courses you want to take, what step is next for you, then the link is in there. Also, Lindsay put together this amazing FAQ document. What you're not calling it FAQ anymore. I think you're calling it Student Success Guide. Something like that. So student support guide, there you go, student support guide. So in there, Um, you can also find that, so that and like every question, because we don't tolerate confusion here. Our core value at Acadian is clarity. So we're trying to do everything we can to answer all of your questions. And so Lindsay put together this amazing document that is right there. Okay, so that's my intro. What did I say I was going to do next? The drawing. Okay, so we are having a drawing for this month. We are calling it Just Get It Done June. Okay, because there are so many people. Like, how many of you like say you're going to do something and then you just never get around to it, right? You purchase a course, you purchase a course and you like it just sits around and you never actually get around to doing it. Okay, so that's why we are, for the month of June, we're calling it Just Get It Done June. And this applies to, I guess I can stop sharing my screen now. Okay, this applies to, I want you to listen very carefully who this applies to. This applies to anyone who is getting their certification. The certifications that are included, okay, are Pro Advisor Level 1, Pro Advisor Level 2, and QBO Payroll, okay? Those three, any of those three. Intuit Bookkeeper? No. Desktop certification? No. It's only those three. Level 1, Level 2, and Payroll. And it's only for people who are getting their certification for the first time, okay? If you are recertifying this year and the recertification date is June 30th, you already have your own deadline. Like, you already know that you have to do it. Okay? You don't need a drawing to motivate you to finish the recertification, okay? But for those of you getting your certification for the first time using Acadian materials, okay? If you want to use the free Intuit materials, we wish you the best. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, it's free. The software is free. The training is free. The test is free. That, yes, but you can't enter our drawing if you get it on your own for free, okay? If you are using our Acadian materials for Level 1, Level 2, or Payroll for the first time, and you get certified in June, you can enter the drawing, okay? So Joel has put the link to the details in there. Enter all of that if you want to find out more or get our Acadian materials to help you. If you get certified in the month of June, you get an entry in the drawing, okay, for every one of those certifications. So somebody, no, who did I just say? Charlene, who we were just chatting earlier, she got 2 different certifications this month already, okay? So you can get up to 3 entries. Now, if you purchase, if some of the people, I'm going to talk about one today, some of the people who enter or who are in the drawing they have had their courses for a very long time, but this month's theme of Just Get It Done June is the kick in the butt they needed, and so they finally got their certification. Okay, so if that's you, we love you. You get you get an entry in the drawing. If you purchase a companion course in the month of June and get certified, then we're going to 5x your entries. Okay, you'll see when we open it up that there are 5 times the amount of entries for, I think, maybe just one person. And this week we're adding a 1 person to it. Okay, so we're 5 if you purchased in June and got certified in June, which, by the way, is totally doable. Level 1 takes about 5 hours to get through. That's not, none of these include test time because I can't control how long it takes you to take the test. But the course material, there's about 5 hours of course material for Level 1, There's about 8 hours of course material for level 2, and there's about 3.5 to 4 hours of course material for payroll. Okay, so you could absolutely get it done. I mean, there's plenty of time to get it done before the end of the month. There's plenty of time. You could do 1 or 2 of them this weekend if you really put your mind to it. Okay, all right, let's see. Yes, Melissa, I know, darn it, right before. I gotta put this one up. Jenny says, I am certified and first tried to do it through Intuit. It's so much harder than Acadian. Takes a lot longer with Intuit. Yes, exactly. It can take months to slog through the Intuit stuff, and we help you get it done in hours. Okay, these are the ones from this week. Robert Peterson. He bought the course May 25th, got certified on, I don't know why Credley is telling me June 13th, because he entered the contest yesterday, so which the deadline is midnight on Thursday, so I don't know why it would be June 13th. But anyway, so he gets 1 entry. Leanne Blackstock. Leanne purchased her course on June 11th, and this is level 2, and got certified 2 days later, or actually it must have been the next day. So she got level 2 certified in 1 day, which means she gets 5 entries. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Leslie May, who is on the call today, purchased on May 27th, got certified on June 7th. Woohoo! Whitney Walker purchased on April 15th. And got certified on June 12th. So this is one of those, we needed that little kick to get you to get it done. Woohoo! Celeste Neighbor purchased the course March 23rd, got certified on June 12th. I am loving this. I'm seeing some things in the chat. Who is Charlene? Yeah, I'm not at Charlene yet. Okay, Charlene Fletcher. Charlene Fletcher purchased the course on May 15th, got certified June 11th. I only have you 2 times in here. Okay, but the other one's later. Okay, then we have some people who tried to enter with their recertification. Recertification does not count. This is only for people who get their first certification. All right, so the next one is Danielle. Oops. Danielle Copeland. She has 2 actually, because this one is an old one. She purchased her courses in November of 2022, 3 years ago, and I confirmed, at least I thought I did, that these were not recertifications, that she's had those courses for this long and finally got them done. Danielle, is Danielle on the call today? I don't know, but anyway, but she got level 1 on June 5th and level 2 on June 9th. So she's in there twice. Okay, then here's Charlene's second one. purchased on May 15th, got certified on June 2nd. This must have been the level 1. Okay. Then we have somebody who sent us a bad link. We have somebody who sent us a certification from April. This is only for those who got certified in June. So then the next person we have is Susan Mel. I think it's actually Melhorn. What happened after Charlene? Okay. Susan Melhorn got, she purchased on May 24th and got certified June 3rd. Then we have Michelle Todd, who purchased on April 18th and got certified on June 1st. Then we have some people who didn't qualify. We had some people who tried to enter but hadn't purchased our course. We have a person who sent us one that was not in June. We have another one who sent us all of his or her research, and research does not qualify. Okay, so I'm gonna go faster for the ones from last week. 1, because there's less of them, and 2, because I already listed them off last week. All right, so David Friedman gets 1. Wayne Hendrickson was our winner. So he's actually in there 5 times, but one of his times was a winner, so we leave him in for the other. Oh, no. Sorry. He missed the deadline by 1 day. So, okay, Robert Paterson is in there again. Robert Paterson. And Melanie Azamar. I'm just checking the thing. Okay, and Azamar. These are the people. She's in there 5 times, 3, 4, 5, because she purchased on May 30th, which was actually the first day, and then got certified on June 1st. Look how fast that is. Then we have Michael Harris and Kendra Bishop. Okay, those are the ones from last week. Your name gets in all month long. So if you don't see your name and you're wondering why you didn't, or if you entered but for some reason you don't see your name, then let us know and we'll tell you exactly why you didn't qualify. And there's still time. There's still time. You could be in the drawing. If you don't get picked today, your name will stay in there for next week. If you get your certification now, it's going to stay in for the next couple of weeks. And don't forget, everybody who purchased, everyone who gets certified for the first time in the month of June, 100% of you also get a special prize, okay? So even if you don't get this, even if you don't get this, you're like still keep working because there's going to be another prize at the end. Okay. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's get this done and get working on our exercise. All right, we've got several names that are in there a couple times. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, Leslie, woohoo! I do have a little bit of a bias toward the people who are actually on the call. So, yay, congratulations, Leslie. So Leslie just won a $500 Visa gift card and a $250 Acadian coupon. So, woohoo, excellent. But let's get into our actual work for today, which is our exercise. So everything that I talked about before, which was the free QBO QuickStart course, the free group, the 100 free exercises, the free exercise of the week. Isn't Leslie an AI bot? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Everything we've talked about is free, but we do have a paid course, which is called the QBO Gym. The QBO Gym is a simulated work experience. So if you have ever said to yourself, oh, well, I got certified, but I don't actually feel like I know what I'm doing, or if you said, I wish that I could be an intern somewhere, or I wish that I could just shadow a bookkeeper, like what does a bookkeeper like actually do every day? That's why we created the QBO Gym, because we kept hearing that over and over and over. And so this is an opportunity for you to work. It's like having your first client, and you get to work with a fictitious business owner for a year and record all of the transactions and do all of the things that a bookkeeper would do, just as if you were actually the bookkeeper for this business as things happen to his business. It doesn't take you a year to get through. It only takes about 42 real-time hours each month. It's organized as if it were a whole year, right? And each month is about takes about 3 to 4 hours to get through, so you can easily, just get it done. Just do one chunk at a time. You can try the first month absolutely free with the 5-day gym challenge, which Joel put the link to if you want to find out more about that, and if you want to find out more about the gym in general. Everything that we do in the gym is tied to your Booksmatch account. Booksmatch is our proprietary dashboard that tracks all of your upskilling. So I know recently there's been a lot of confusion about people who, when you log in, if you're not subscribed to the gym, you don't get to see your stats. We don't track stats currently. We don't track stats for our other courses, just for the gym. So if you log in, if you just have our free course, for example, you still have a Booksmatch dashboard, but there'll be a message there that says these stats are only for people who are subscribed to the gym. Okay? And they're unlocked for you, by the way, even if you're doing that free month of the gym. So you can, kind of see what it looks like. So we track all of these stats, and we're so late today, I don't have time to go over all of them. But one of the things we track and that ranks you in the gym is your consistency. We want to make sure that you are continuing to upskill all the time. And so because of that, because of that, sorry, I got distracted by Charlene's question. It's a month's worth of content, but you have 1 week to complete it. So Charlene had asked, is it first free month or free week of the gym? So you have 1 week to complete it, but the content is the first month, because the whole simulation is a year, and it's broken out by a month. So you have, but it's easy to do, 3 to 4 hours. Anyway, so we want to track your consistency. Why do we still have that up? You want to track we track your consistency, and because we're tracking consistency, we have to always be providing ways for you to upskill, and that's what the exercise of the week is. The exercise of the week is actually a separate course in your dashboard. And if you are subscribed to the gym, and you know those are the people that need to always have content so they can always be upskilling. If you're subscribed to the gym and you have 250 points worked up in the gym, then it unlocks the exercise of the week. I should say, I always forget this. I do this every week. You would think I'd be able to remember. But the gym is all gamified, And so there's bells and whistles and badges and like fun stuff as you're going through the gym. And you accumulate points. There's this little drawer at the bottom. So if you click this arrow, it'll tell you how many points you have accumulated. And if you have accumulated, like I said, 250, then it will unlock the exercise of the week. If you have the exercise of the week unlocked, then you need to use the link that is in here in order for you to get Booksmatch credit. Everyone who does not have the gym and who's on the call today gets the exercise for free. Joel's going to post it in the chat if he hasn't already, and we're going to work through it together. And your thank you for being with us here live is to get this exercise that you can follow along. If you have the gym but don't have the 250 points yet, use the exercise in the chat. You won't get Booksmatch credit for it, but that's okay because you're getting Booksmatch credit like as you're going through the gym. Okay? All right. So let's talk today. This is our topic today, is reconciliation discrepancies. And this is a topic, speaking of certifications, this is a topic that is required for you to know for your level 1 exam. Okay? So, yeah, okay. So Joel has already also put up the sample company. All right, so let's talk about troubleshooting beginning balances. And this is, oh yeah, okay. I suddenly thought it was something else. All right. So for those of you who are considering getting certified, don't know anything about, getting certified quite yet, Intuit provides level 1 and level 2 certifications for Pro Advisor certifications. Each test consists of 5 separate exams. So there's actually 5 separate courses. They call them courses. So now this year we have to call them courses. There's 5 separate courses that you have to take, and there's an exam associated with each. Joel, did I give you that link to the everything doc? If you don't know anything about the Pro Advisor program, the everything doc is the place to start. And if you have that, if you could post that in the link, or post that in the chat, then you can it's a free ebook that goes over everything you need. It's literally called Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About the QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor Academy and Certification. It's a mouthful, but it is genuinely, it's like 40 pages long with detailed instructions on how to get certified and where to find, this, that, and the other, and what this means, and how to navigate, and tips for taking the test, all of that stuff. So grab that if you don't have it, okay? So this lesson about troubleshooting beginning balances is in the banking course, okay? The banking, so there's, as I mentioned, there's 5 courses that you have to take. Banking is, by the way, the one that people seem to struggle with this year the most. There is always one. Every year, there's like one. Years ago, it was Section 5 when the program was totally different. It was Section 5. People were always struggling with Section 5, and so I used to do what we called Section 5 Live, because it was like we didn't have this live stream back then, so I would just do a live stream just dedicated to Section 5. But anyway, this year it is the banking section, which this comes from, and I don't know why people struggle with it so much, but they do. So let's dive in and let's talk about it, okay? All right, so here is our scenario. Craig received his most recent credit card statement and started to reconcile his account. Good for him. When he went to the reconcile screen, however, he received an error message that said, your account isn't ready to reconcile yet. Your beginning balance is off by negative $240.55. How did this happen, and what can Craig do about it? Let's take a look at how we can help, okay? All right, so what I love about this is that it's troubleshooting. So for those of you who are in the gym and getting Booksmatch credit, I didn't go over the detail because we're so late today, but your skills are separated into different skill groups, and people always want more troubleshooting. More troubleshooting. This is one of those troubleshooting. This is one of those troubleshooting ones. So anyway, so I love it. And the other thing I love about it is that there's only 3 possibilities. It's so finite. That's why I love numbers. I don't know if you feel this way. It's like, I love math and numbers because it's finite, because there's always a right answer. It's not like English and sociology and all that stuff, which is all like conjecture and opinion and subjective and all this stuff. Math just is what it is. And it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I'm glad to see some of you in the chat. What? Gabriel has been here for so long. He says he struggled with section 5 in the old system. Holy cow. I didn't know I had any old birds still with me. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're still here. Anyway, so there's only 3 things it could be. And so we're going to cover those 3 things. All right. So let's see. Now, to do the exercise, we have to load the sample company. And Joel has put it in the chat. I loaded it before when we were sending in the chart of accounts feedback. But anyway, so if you're inside your QBOA account, you click the gear icon and select sample company, or we have a little quick link for you that we put in the chat a couple of times, acadian.com/QBOA. And here I am in the sample company, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go back to my exercise here. So this is the other way you can do it if you're in your QBOA account. All right, so this, I'm sharing my screen, right? Okay. This error happened because someone made changes to transactions that had already been reconciled. Oh, no. How dare they? Okay, first of all, if it's been reconciled, it's accurate. So don't go changing it. What happens sometimes is that the wrong thing was reconciled. So you have to undo a reconciliation to one thing and then reconcile another. Like if, for example, the amounts were the same, but there were 2 different transactions and you realized later. So sometimes you have to go mess with it. But as a rule, the bank statement is correct, so don't go changing things that are reconciled. But here's what happens if they have been reconciled, then and they make changes to it in one of 3 ways, then you're going to get this error message. Okay. To reproduce the error in the sample company, the first thing we need to do is reconcile. Before we can reconcile, however, we need to process the bank transactions. For the purpose of this exercise, we're only going to pay attention to Tanya's nursery, okay? So now we're going to get into the exercise. And you'll notice that as I am on this exercise, when I hover over this white instruction box, there is this little Star Trek thingy, okay? It used to say guide me, and now it doesn't. Now, for the last 2 weeks, it's just been this little picture. This little picture is from we use a software called Scribe to create all of our exercises. And Scribe provides a Google Chrome extension that you can plug in. So if you go to your Google Chrome, so you click this little thing here, Manage Extensions, and then you go to the Chrome Web Store, and you look for this extension called Scribe. Okay, so if you've installed that, then on our exercises, on the white boxes, notice that these are red and green. Okay, not those, the white ones here. You'll notice this little Star Trek icon, and when I click this, and I have the sample company open, if I click it and then click confirm. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me it's not going to work for me today while I am live. Confirm. There we go. Whew. I was worried for a moment. Things always go wrong when you're live. They've gotten better. The more of these I do, the better I get, but still, things tend to happen. All right, so magic happened. Magic happened, and now I have the exercise on the right-hand side, and I have the sample company on the left-hand side. Okay, so Joel has put in, he put in a link that says this is how to use the side panel. So you can grab that. You can grab that for future reference if I went too fast or whatever. Okay, so here we are in the sample company. Let's walk through the exercise. Okay. All right, so here we are. From the left navigation bar, hover over transactions, then click Guide Me. I'm already in Guide Me. I don't know what's happening, folks, but we're going to click Bank Transactions. Oh my gosh. You know, when you run your own company, you have to make this decision about whether to use other people's tools or whether to spend your money, your hard-earned capital, to develop your own tools. And both of them have advantages and disadvantages, and it's just one of the decisions that you have to make as a CEO. So far we've been using other people's tools, and so sometimes, well, some like we have our own tool, Booksmatch, but which we developed and and paid for and designed. It's getting a major overhaul in the next couple of months, but by the end of the summer, Booksmatch will look totally different. But anyway, but other things we're on the backs of other software, and so we don't control whether that software has glitches, and it's very frustrating. But it's also frustrating when to design your own thing. So you just have to, this is just one of those things, guys. I'm just telling you how it is. All right, so we're gonna close this pop-up. All right, so now we're gonna go to the MasterCard tile. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Look, I don't have a MasterCard tile. What should I do? Who can tell me what I should do when I don't see the MasterCard tile? I'll wait. I like to test you guys every so often. Refresh. There we go. Click the arrow. Yes. Because what's actually happening, link account drop down. Okay. So let me just explain this for a second. So the reason that I am only seeing the one here is because of the size of my screen. Okay. It's because I have it blown up and it doesn't fit. Well, Intuit doesn't think that it fits. Okay. So because of that, I can, if I click the arrow, it'll go through, and there's the MasterCard one. Okay. Somebody else said I could use the drop down, which is also true. So I can click this drop down, go to my MasterCard right here. So that's another way I could do it. I could actually make my screen smaller, like I just did. I'm on a Mac, so it's Command minus. Okay, so now that gets all three of my accounts. I'm doing Command plus now, so that it's bigger, so that you guys can see it. Somebody suggested linking the account. That would be if I actually didn't have the account already connected to the bank. That's what I would do. But I knew that it was already connected, so I knew that that wasn't going to be the right choice. So yeah, good. All right, thanks. Good job, guys. All right, so now we're going to go to the MasterCard. I lost it again. Okay, here it is, MasterCard. All right, on the Tanya's Nursery transaction in the action column, click Match. Okay, let's find it. Tanya's Nursery, there it is. We're going to click Match. Now that we have processed the bank feeds, we'll need to reconcile the account. Click Go to Bank Register, which is right here. Click Reconcile. There's a ton of ways. There's a ton of ways to get to the Reconcile screen. That's just the one we chose for the exercise. Well, look, that picture matches. Okay. We're going to click this, get started. And we're going to click this. Let's get reconciled. All right. Okay. In the ending balance, we're going to type $157.72. Ending statement balance. Oh, they changed the wording here. Statement ending balance, and it used to be just ending balance. They change things all the time. And by the way, for those of you who are new, we constantly are making updates to all of these things. So as you go through stuff, you can report it. That'd be great. But also know that we are systematically going through everything to update it. We always want it to be as updated to the most recent experience, okay? Which sets us apart from some of our peers, okay? All right, anyway, $157.72. And then for the ending date, we're just gonna type T for today, okay? All right, this is a new message since this exercise was created, and we can just ignore it. But this is kind of nice because you're now getting an error message that says that there are transactions that still need to be processed. We only processed that one for Tanya because that's for the purposes of this exercise. But this is kind of a newish thing that they added that's kind of cool, okay? All right, so now we're gonna click Start Reconciling. Okay. And in the far right column of the transaction grid, this is the transaction grid, click the circle at the top to select all transactions. So this one right here. We're going to select yes, we want all 17. Okay, and now we're going to finish now. Remember, this is just the setup for what we have to do is, because the exercise that we're doing is a reconciliation discrepancy error. And so we have to create a reconciliation so that we can create the error. Okay, just want to remind you what we're doing here. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to click Done. All right, so now I have reconciled that. So now I can make some changes that are going to cause the error. Okay, so now we're going to go to the credit card register. Close my pop-up. Now I want you to, gotta scroll. Okay, I want you to notice. Here's my register. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see. Okay. So this is my register, which is just a in and out of like every transaction in this account, okay? And you'll notice this column right here that has an R next to it, okay? That means it's been reconciled, okay? That's how we know it's been reconciled. If we go to down here, this little green box means that it says manually added from the bank feeds. That's not technically true. It is actually, you matched it, but still that's the point. Okay, so this is the one, remember we went in, we just did that one. That's the one there. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna make this bigger now so you can see it. Okay. This is what I just said. I didn't even realize this was in here. The R is the reconciled, the green box, that's the Tanya's. Okay, so now that we're set up, let's recreate the problem and create the problem and error message that Craig saw. As I said, how many ways did I say? 3 ways. There's 3 ways to affect the reconciliation balance and cause the error. One is to change the R to something else. Two is to change the amount of a reconciled transaction. And three is to delete a reconciled transaction. We're going to do each of these so you can see all three errors, okay? All right, so we're going to click the last Tanya's Nursery transaction, expense 3, in the amount of $158 and 8 cents. Okay, so here we are. This is expense number 3, Tanya's Nursery, $158.08. We're just going to click that R. Well, we're going to click it to edit it. Sorry, I should have click it. Now I'm going to click the R, and boom, it's gone. It's gone. It exists no more. Now I'm going to click Save. I'm getting an error message. The transaction you're editing has been reconciled. Saving your changes could put you out of balance the next time you try to reconcile. Are you sure you want to modify it? Yes, because this is a demonstration. I wonder if that error message wasn't there when we created the exercise, because it's been there as long as I can remember. I don't know why we don't have it in the exercise. Lindsay, maybe you can make a note of that. All right, so now we're going to go to the second Tanya's Nursery transaction, expense 22. Okay, let's find it. Here it is. Tanya's Nursery, expense 22, $54.92. Okay, now we're going to click this. Now in the charge field, we're going to change the amount to $54.90. Okay, so this is my second. Remember, the first way that I could create the error is to take off that R. The second way I can create the error is to change the amount. And then the third, see if you remember, okay, we're going to hit that and then click Save. Again, it's been reconciled, yep. Okay, and then the third way is to actually delete a transaction. So now we're going to find the first Tanya's Nursery. Right here, $82.45. We're going to click it, and this time we're going to delete. Okay, so this time you'll get 2 warnings. One, because you're deleting a transaction that is linked to a bank transaction. Remember how we did that? Remember, so this is the one with the green box. This is the one with the green box, and because that was matched to a bank transaction, and it's saying, well, are you sure you want to do that? And, well, for this exercise, we're going to say yes. And then the second one is the same as the ones we've seen before, which is that it's been reconciled. Are we sure we want to do it? Okay, so I'm going to say yes. Okay. All right, so now that we have done these 3 things that are going to force the error, now we're going to try and reconcile the account again so that we can see the error that Craig got. Okay, so we're going to reconcile again. And without even me doing anything, you know, it just says, whoa, hello, your beginning balance is off by minus $240.55. Okay, so this is what we saw before. This is why Craig called us. He's getting this error. Okay, so what do we do about it? Oh, look, they're giving us video tutorials now. Well, that's okay. This live stream is a video tutorial. All right, so we're gonna click We Can Help You Fix It. Okay. The reconciliation discrepancy report shows you exactly which transactions were changed and how they were changed. 2 of them are easy to fix. Guess which 2? The first reconciliation was unreconciled in the register. This means that someone removed the R. Remember when we did that? Well, we can easily put it back. Okay, so we're going to click that first one. Okay, click on the first transaction, click this empty box. Okay, when we click it the first time, it's going to add a C. C means cleared. Cleared means that you checked it one time and it was good. But then R means that you finalized it. Okay, so R, so we're going to click it again. So now we have the R and we're going to click save. So that one's taken care of. Woohoo! All right, that's that. The second item, which is now the first, oh, it's not in the same order as it used to be, but click on the transaction, so had the amount changed, okay? So you can see what it was before. It was $54.92. Now it's $54.90 because we changed it. Remember, we changed it. That difference is 2 cents. What should we do? Well, we're going to change it back. So now we're going to click on this. We're going to go to the amount field. We're going to change it back to what it was. Click save. Phew! All right. The last one is a little trickier, but just very recent. I haven't actually checked the sample company to see if it's there yet, but Intuit just released a brand new feature that helps with this. Oh, it's gonna, if this works, it's gonna make things so much easier. I don't know how many accounts this new feature is in. By the way, don't forget to listen to the Unofficial QuickBooks Accountants podcast. And I'm a guest host. I do a segment with Alicia Katz-Pollock on we call it Look What We Found, which is all of like the little things, all of the new features and like little wording changes and like all that stuff that we discover. And so you can listen to that. Maybe the link will, yeah. Joel, if you can put I think I gave you the podcast link. I think it's just uqb.show. I think. There it is, yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, we'll see if this new feature is here today, because it will be super cool if it is. It'll be my first time actually using it. All right. So the final item, unless they have this new feature, is a little trickier because you have to add it back in. Okay, so we're going to click View. And this is going to allow us to see the audit history of this transaction. Okay, so here is, the transaction history, all of the stuff that happened. I'm going to close this. Okay, this is what I just opened versions so I can see. Does anybody use the, some of you know I'm a diehard Mac girl, and on my Mac I have, I can browse recent versions. So if I save something and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to save that, I needed to go back, I can go back to recent. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. So anyway, so yeah, so you can view the, so that's what this is the open versions. Okay, let me just close this so you can see better. No, well, yeah, it's going to be, I don't know if Iris, if you're talking about, I was just talking about on my Mac, just like in general, if I'm in a word processing document, like anything I do in has recent versions, browse all versions. I don't know if that's a thing. It's not related to QuickBooks Online. That was a non sequitur. Sorry. All right, so here is the audit history where you can see all of the stuff that's happened. And it looks like the new feature is not available. So so what happened, Alicia found, is a new, it's not a restore button. I know we all wish that we had a restore button, but it's a button that says create new, and maybe it just works for invoices, create new invoice. And so it'll copy all of the information onto a new, so you can like create it again, because that's what we're going to have to do now, is we're going to have to create this transaction again. And so yeah, so it doesn't look, this was an expense, so maybe it doesn't work on expenses. Maybe it only works in maybe it only works on invoices, but still better than none. We wish that we just had a restore button. Why can't they give it to us? I don't know. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So scroll to the bottom of the list and make note of the date on the original transaction. Okay, so here's the bottom. Here's when I scroll to the bottom, this was supposedly created on June 9th. And so I have to write down June 9th, because it's going to be different every time you do this exercise. If you do this exercise tomorrow, it's going to be different. Okay, so you have to write it down. Okay, so I'm sorry, not June 9th. The date of the expense is May 8th. I don't know what this date is. It's May 8th. So write down May 8th. I struggle with this same practice all the time. Iris, I don't quite understand your question. I'll circle back, okay? All right. So, oh, Diane says hers says May 11th. So, yeah, the dates in the sample company are always changing. And the beautiful thing about the sample company is that it always resets. But it means that our exercises aren't always, it means that our exercises, like we can't say a specific date for any of our exercises. Okay. All right, so we're making a date. All right, I just said, okay. So now we're going to re-enter the deleted transaction. Leaving the audit history tab open, return to your original URL tab and click X, the one in the upper right-hand corner, not the one on the discrepancy notice, to close the reconciliation discrepancy report. Let's see. Let's see. How did I get there? Leaving the audit history URL tab open. Oh, well, yeah. Referring to this particular reconciling when the balance is off. Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. Okay, so now we have to get back to, what does this mean? Leaving the audit history URL out. Oh, right. Duh. Okay, so can you guys see this, or is my head, when I'm on Zoom, I can't control where my head is. So I don't know if you can see me clicking up here. You can see that? Okay, good. So when we opened when we selected to look at the audit history, it opened up a new tab. I forgot to mention that. So now we want to go to the other tab that was here, okay? And we want to close out of this. Looks like this doesn't have an X to close anymore anyway. And we're going to click this X here. And we're going to, oh, you can't see it anymore because I closed this. We're going to create a new expense. Okay. Using the information from the audit history, we'll close that. We didn't have that back then. Using the information from the audit history URL tab, recreate the expense. Remember, we're using the MasterCard account. Make sure you're using the date from your audit history, not the date shown in this exercise. Once complete, click Save and Close. Okay, so who did we pay? Tanya. Make sure that the payment account is the MasterCard. The payment date is the date that we wrote down. So for me, it was May 8th. I know somebody said that it was, Diane said yours is May 11th, okay? So your whatever date you see from the audit log, okay? And then we have to copy all of this information. Okay, so job expenses, job materials, plants and soil. Job expenses, job materials, plants and soil. And the amount was $82.45. $82.45. And then we click Save and Close. Okay. When you deleted the transaction, it unmatched from the bank feed. Let's match it again. So now we're going to go to the bank transactions. Oh, I could have just clicked, sorry. There's so many different ways to get to things. I just do it by memory. Don't even pay attention to where I am. Okay, so here I am on bank transactions. Let me close this so you can see. Here is the MasterCard. So we're gonna go, look, here's Tanya's Nursery, one match found. This is precisely what we did before, okay? So now I'm going to match it. Now we're gonna go to the bank register one more time. And we're gonna find that transaction. Oh, I gotta scroll over to the right. We're going to find that transaction, and you'll notice that now it says it has the C for cleared. Remember, cleared means I checked it. Okay, that's what happens. The C is automatically created when you match it in the bank feed. Okay, when you match it in the bank feed like we just did, it adds that little C. Okay, but now, oh, it says tentatively reconciled. Okay, but now we're going to reconcile it again to match what we did before. Okay, so I'm going to change this to an R and click Save. Am I sure? Yes, I am sure. This is a new message. Yes, I am absolutely sure that this is what I need to be doing. Okay, so now we're going to reconcile again. And boom, no more error message. Woohoo! What did I do wrong if I only get the option to add? It sounds like you deleted the expense that it matched to. Or maybe you don't have the correct amount. So it's going to match by date and amount. So make sure you have the amount correct and the date from your audit history. Yes, that's the other thing, is the expense that you just created, it might not have been, make sure that you selected the MasterCard. Good catch, Leslie, thank you. Okay. Let's see. Note, you could choose not to change the reconciliation status directly in the register. If you had not changed it there, then you would go, oh, there's a typo right there, Lindsay. Then oh, no, sorry, that's not a typo. I read it wrong. Then when you got to the reconciliation screen, you would see another error. Click We Can Help You Fix It, like you did in the previous step. You would then change the reconciliation status from the report like you did with the previous transaction. I'm not sure if that makes sense, okay? So what we did was we changed that, we went and changed the little from a C to an R. We did it in the register, which, you know, QuickBooks doesn't really like you to do. They let you do it, but they don't really like you to do it. So another way to do it is to just reconcile, then you get the error message, and then on the error message, you click "We can help you fix it," and you change the status like we did for the other one. Change it to R right there. Okay? All right, let's see. Iris says, question, what if the item was deleted because it never happened? They never sent that payment or made that deposit, etc. Okay, well, if the item was, the only reason you're going to get this error message is if it was previously reconciled. That's the idea of the reconciliation discrepancy report, which, by the way, those of you who are studying for level 1, that reconciliation discrepancy report only happens when you are reconciling. This is not a report that you can pull up in the report center, okay? It happens when you're reconciling. That's the only time you see it, okay? So, and the only reason that transactions are, that you're going to have items there is because somebody messed with a transaction that was previously reconciled, okay? So if the transaction never happened, it wouldn't be on that list. Just deleting a transaction in general because it never happened, somebody typed it wrong, whatever, that's not going to cause an issue. What's going to cause an issue is if you delete a transaction that was previously reconciled. Okay, it's that was previously reconciled that's the issue. Okay, all right, I got a thumbs up, so I guess that's good. All right, let's see what else. Who did I go say? So Gabriel says, was that? Okay, I don't know if this was related to something else. So Gabriel says, I believe there are multiple versions of the test company which allows different scenarios so people can test different things. Yes, there are 3 versions of the test company, or the sample company, or the test drive is what they call it. So the first version, the one we've been using today, is the accountant's version. This gives you, it gives you your accountant tools and gives you as if you are working on a client's account, okay? And the important thing is you have accountant tools, which you wouldn't otherwise have. Then you can view it from the client side as if you're the client, viewing a QBO Plus subscription, and then there's another one that allows you to view a QBO Advanced subscription. So 3, and there's 2 client side and 1 accountant side. All right, let's see. But all of them are missing the chart of accounts. All of them are missing the chart of accounts. All right. Iris says, thank you for making so much sense. You give an explanation, which is what I found QuickBooks Help mostly doesn't do. I'll remember how to fix based on what you said. That's awesome. That's awesome. Remember, I'm allergic to confusion. I cannot stand when there is confusion. All right, I'm going back through the chat to see if there are any other questions. Who did I say I was going to circle back to? Let's see. I am not seeing. I wish there were a way. I wish there were a way for me to like star comments so I could come back to them. But I think that we are good. Oh, it was Iris, but I answered it. Okay, good. All right. So, another thing that we do here at Acadian with all of our exercises, or at least with the exercise of the week, is we provide you with a marketing prompt. So the way this happened, the gym had been out for a while, and I just kept hearing people say, I know I'm supposed to post on social media, but I don't know what to say. And I just kept thinking, why do you not know what to say? You're learning something new all the time. And so finally, after a couple months, I decided I'm just going to write marketing prompts. So every time you learn something, so when you're in the gym as you work through the different sections, you unlock marketing prompts that are related to what you just learned, okay? But with the exercise of the week, we actually provide you with a marketing prompt for every week. And so Joel will put that in the chat, but I'll also show you here. I share my screen again. So here is the marketing prompt for today for what we just did. Okay, QBO and we like to call them QBO quick tips. We recommend that you post on social media, that you demonstrate your expertise as a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor by constantly talking about QuickBooks Online, like things that you can do. You can post little, quick tips. You can turn them into an image. You can create a Loom video going over exactly what we just did today and do a little training. But however, or you could put this in ChatGPT and write a whole article about it. We had a student who liked to do that. Okay, but here's the one that I came up with today. QBO quick tip: if your beginning balances don't match the prior period's ending balances, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Something's off and it could throw your books out of whack. The fix might be simple, but you need to know where to look. Need a second set of eyes? I'm here to help. All right, so let me tell you about these marketing prompts. So when we first, and Joel will put it in the chat if he hasn't already. Okay, good. Okay, so let me tell you about these marketing prompts. So when I first decided to do marketing prompts, I just wrote them myself. I just was like, they learned this thing, and here's a fun thing you could say about it, and I just out of my brain. And then a couple of months ago, I thought, I wonder if ChatGPT could write these. And so I went on ChatGPT and I just copied in the scribe exercise. I just took the link to the scribe exercise and I pasted it in ChatGPT. I did several of them. And I gave it also the what I had written. I'm trying to write these like short, snappy QBO quick tips based off of like this thing that they learned. And so I gave them some samples of what I had written in the past. And I said, now can you write your own? And it does a great job. It does a great job. Here is me saying, I accidentally sent it the Zoom link, which apparently I had done before. And it said, looks like you dropped a Zoom link again. So I accidentally, so then I said, oops, and I just gave it but it knew, because I had said, let's try this one. So this is the one that the conversation where I started today. Let's try this one, because it knows I'm in a thread here called QBO Quick Tip. And I put a little icon on it so that I could find it. I can easily find it whenever I need it, which is every week. And so anyway, so this is where it starts. Let's try this one. So it knows this is fully backed of like all my quick tips that I've been doing ever since I did this, and the links to the scribes. I accidentally did the Zoom. I said, oops. Okay, so here's the first one that it gave me. QBO quick tips. Beginning balances not lining up in quick tips. That's often a sign something went sideways during setup. Oh, really? Or that an account was changed after the fact. Getting it right is key to accurate reports and clean reconciliations. Not sure where to start? I'll walk you through it. Now, is this accurate? Is this accurate? It's often a sign that something went sideways during setup. Is that what causes a reconciliation discrepancy error report? No, it does not. No, it does not. Okay. Somebody's getting a 404 error with that link. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, so like this is what I keep telling you. I think I'm going to record a video today about AI, because as I keep telling you, AI is going to take over the tedious parts of your job. Okay, it's going to do a lot of the day-to-day data entry, categorization, bank feed matching, reconciliation, all that stuff. It's coming. It's going to take over. It's going to take over your job. Okay, but it's going to be wrong a lot, and you have to be the one. You have to know what good looks like. You have to know those deep foundational principles. You have to be the one that can say, hey, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, whatever thing you're using, say, like, that's not right. I can look at this and go, that's when it says that's often a sign something went sideways during setup. No, it is not. You know what? It's thinking last week we talked about opening balance equity. Remember that? For those of you who are here? And it's getting confused with that conversation because that is a problem during setup, okay? So here's what I did. I was like, no, it's not. I said, here's how you do that. I actually learned this from Hector Garcia. So here is what I was saying was all of that stuff, okay? And here's where it said something wrong. That's often a sign something went sideways during setup, which is not accurate, okay? So you can grab that, you select it, and then see this little quotation mark thing there? When that little quotation mark is, you click that, and when you reply, it knows that that you're referring to that specific thing. Okay? All right. So I selected that thing and I said, where did that come from? Try again. Okay? So then it gave me another one. QBO quick tip. Seeing mismatched beginning balances in QuickBooks, it usually means those opening numbers were entered or updated after transactions were already flowing in. What? No, that's not it. It's after the transactions were reconciled. If you make changes in one of three ways, the reconciliation status, the amount, or you delete it altogether, if you make changes in one of those three ways, okay, that's going to cause, in one of those three ways, to a reconciled transaction, okay? Not any transaction, a reconciled transaction, okay? If you make those changes in one of those three ways, then you're going to get that error. So I'm like, so again, ChatGPT is getting confused, but I know better. I know what I'm talking about. I know what the issue is, okay? So I just highlighted this part. After transactions were already flowing in, look, I said, nope. So then it says, oh, thank you, you're right. That line didn't reflect what the exercise is actually about. Let's try again with an accurate and clear version. And this is the one that I gave you guys today. Okay? All right. So then the next thing that happened was, so I did all of this, and then I have to create, I like to create an image that goes with my locker room post. Okay? And I have a different thread that is for that, but I forgot. And so I just thought maybe I didn't forget, maybe I did do it on purpose, because then maybe I thought, oh, I can combine these, with the locker room post. So Um, so then I wrote, can I have an image to go with this? Maybe someone with a magnifying glass. So this is what it gave me. QBO quick tip. Look at that. Look at that. All of you guys learning Canva in Lindsay's Getting Clients cohort, right? Which those of you who don't know what that is, somebody will post the link below because we're way over time, so I don't have time to go into it. But so you're spending all this time on Canva learning how to do this, and look, ChatGPT just boop, did it right there. But there's a problem, because if you read it, it cuts off. The fix might be simple, but you need to know where to, oops. So anyway, I said, looks good, but the words got cut off at the bottom. And so then it tried again. Now, one thing about ChatGPT is that it often will not give you the identical image again. It's like it has to rethink through. It has to rethink through the image. So sometimes the second image that you get is like fully a different image. So anyway, so here is the second one it gave me. And this one is also cut off here. But it's like, you could still do it. I mean, you could still use it. Or you could, tell it, you could keep going and you could tell it to make adjustments or, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that because you guys need to be using tools. You guys need to start familiarizing yourself with these tools, and you can't be relying on me. I say all the time, Acadian is not a marketing company. Yes, our goal is to help you. Our goal is to help you ultimately, but our expertise is in accounting education, not in marketing. But I know you guys are so hungry for marketing. So what I'm saying is I don't want you to rely on us for your marketing. I'm trying to give you tools that you can get out there and do some of this yourself. Okay. All right, let me go through the thing. I think we're wrapped up, unless there's anything else I forgot. I did the drawing, forgot to mark off that I did it. Okay, so let me go through the chat, see. Thank you for Lindsay about the recording. Yeah, so the recording is in the locker room. As soon as the Zoom thing is done, because it takes a minute, as soon as the Zoom thing is done, we post it in the locker room, but the link will only work until we get it edited and up on YouTube. If you guys are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what are you even doing? Join the YouTube channel. Anyway, so yeah, Jewel will put that link, or Lindsay will put in that link in the chat too. It's very easy. Acadian.com/YouTube, but make sure that you capitalize the Y and the T, okay? Or there's like another official link. All right, Gretel says, I'm impressed. I think that was with ChatGPT. Let's see, okay. Let's see, Chat. Jenny says, chat stroked out on me. It was misspelling words, writing gibberish, couldn't follow simple commands. Yeah, that happens. ChatGPT, like day before yesterday, was totally gone. Like, I guess it was yesterday that the Google went down totally, and the day before that, ChatGPT went down totally. So, I don't know, probably we got some Chinese spies happening. All right, I wasn't sharing my screen. Let's see. Zunu. Chat has become my BFF with a lot of networking stuff, but I have to know what I want to say. There you go. That's it. ChatGPT polishes it up, which I love. I also know what questions to ask and have a reasonable understanding of what the correct response is. If you ask a vague question, ChatGPT will go off into parts unknown. That is a great way to put it. Great way to put it. All right. People are having trouble with the link, and other people are, it's working. Okay. Okay, I think I've got everything. If I missed your question, Iris says, I have your YouTube channel and get notifications. Love it. Awesome. Heather says, thank you for all the insight today and every day. Aw, you guys are so nice. All right. I turned on the air conditioning here in the studio, so I'm not quite as drippy as I was when we first started today. But I think we are done, unless there are other questions that are popping up. Charlotte's just saying thank you. You're welcome. I'm delighted. I hope you guys read the newsletter, because that is I speak the truth. I speak the truth from my heart in those newsletter articles. Somebody was over here recently, on Wednesday, somebody said Margie's allergic to confusion, and I thought that was so perfect. I'm going to use it. And then a couple weeks before that, someone was in the office and said, you seem really passionate about accounting. And I was like, no, actually, I'm not passionate about accounting. I'm passionate about clarity. I cannot tolerate confusion in anything. It is like my driver. When there is confusion, that super Margie comes in. Now I'm a superhero, because I'm I have to clear it up. I have to. That's why we exist, is because accounting is just such a confusing thing. And we're bending over backwards trying to do everything we can to make things clear for you. Don't forget, next Thursday, we're going to do that a lot with our debits and credits workshop. That is going to be a lot of fun. All right. So many nice things that you're saying. Kalina's not getting the newsletter. Righteous support at acadian.com. We'll figure out why. Randy must have missed the beginning of the call when I got on my soapbox and I said, we must write to Intuit. This is not acceptable that the chart of accounts is not working. And if it is not working by next week, I'm going to write to the CEO, because this cannot happen. We have to have the chart of accounts. I might write to the CEO actually before next week, because seriously, this is a thing. This is a big thing that has to be fixed. All right. Aww. Gretel says, you're definitely a great person to share all your knowledge with us. Aw. All right. I got to go, folks. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful that you guys hang out with me and that I can make a little dent in clearing up that confusion and helping you guys see, because the world needs us. The world needs good bookkeepers, and good bookkeepers are the ones that can wade through that confusion and bring clarity to business owners. And the business owners, they're so confused. They don't know. Look how many people go out of business every year. And we can help that. We can help that. But only if you know what you're doing, and only if you are really good. So, all right, with that, guys, have a wonderful weekend. I hope nothing happens to you on this Friday the 13th. I can't wait to hear your success story.